Cherie Hansen here. Today I was mulling over investments. I was thinking about the whole concept of the feedback loop. So, what tends to happen, because we're human, poor people, is we have this necessity for seeing success in the actions that we're taking. And we are constantly looking for some kind of feedback from the things that we're doing. And that gets in our way so badly. It's the boulder we stumble over off the cliff into the water running rapidly down to the ocean. And it's because we're set up physiologically to be in a place where our subconscious mind is running us. So what the subconscious mind wants is it wants to protect us. It wants to make sure that we're safe, that we're making the right decisions. And so what we tend to do is we tend to take all of our choices and our decisions based on our past successes or our past failures. Well, in a world that's changing this quickly, it's just not working. To give you an example, I remember when I went to Europe in the 1990s, and I didn't know how to go into buildings because I was so used to like a doorknob or a latch or something like that. And every time I came to a new ultra-modern building, I was just frustrated. No, you don't go in the right door, you go in the left door. No, you don't go in one door, the doors just open if you're standing in the right place, or you have to be moving to make them work. And it was kind of interesting as I was watching my mind in this situation. Is I didn't know how to function because everything was so new and so different. And I think that's where we are now. Is the things that we believe to be true, the old systems, the old operations, are falling away so quickly. I watch people who are trying to figure out the COVID rules. And, they come into the grocery store they've always gone to, and no, that door doesn't open. You're supposed to go in the other door. And no, you don't stand in this line. You go over to that line. And there are marks on the floor, and you're not supposed to put your food down on on the counter until you're signaled up there by the clerk. And so what I watch of people around me is they're constantly in a state of not knowing what the correct behavior is to function. And the way they did it last week is not correct anymore. So we're forced into this place where the way the subconscious mind works is just not effective anymore. Everything changed, yes. Everything did change. How do I do it right then? So that is such an interesting place to be, because we are in a state where we're having to really look at our investments. And what I mean by this is our financial investments, our energy investments, our investments of thoughts, our investments of our dreams, of our goals. And we're set up because we're just animals. I mean, we're just another mammal. We can get all high and mighty, but basically, we're just another mammal. So we want feedback. We want reassurance. We want to know that we did something the correct way. And this is where we come to faith. Because to give you my example, I had a massive debt that hit me unexpectedly. And I started a business and I just started putting, $100 when I made $100 onto my debt. And the whole concept that I would be able to be debt free was not something that I believed, but I still invested in it. I still took the action. And that kind of taught me a lot, because just because you can't see it, just because you can't believe it yet, doesn't mean that your investments don't count. So, what kind of control have we got in our lives right now? We have control over our investments. We have control over how we're spending our money, how we're spending our focus, how we are honoring and taking care of our bodies, how we are interacting with other people. And it brings us down to what I call brass tacks. These are the brass tacks. This is what you build on. This is what we've always built on. Anything else that we have believed, we find out it was just been an illusion. Making decisions is where the power comes. And when we make a decision based on fear, we're going to make the wrong decision. When we have a thought that is based on anxiety, or the only thing we can focus on is survival, is the wrong thought. It is so good now for us to really get into mindfulness practice. The questions are, who am I? Who am I becoming? Why am I here? And how do I live? And those are, and always have been, the questions. But all of the rest of the foo-fa-ra and Art Deco, Rococo, status, glitz, is just been stripped away so that we can see that these are the questions. What did I invest in today? What kind of future am I building with my thoughts and my energy field? And that's in our hands. So there are my thoughts today. Thank you. Go out and invest wisely.